a brief background about your life.
Okay, so Kowa Nvulule Simon is a Zambian youth, age 24 years. I was born on the 14th September 1998, and was actually born in Chawama. And currently I'm an author of RADIATE Positivity, as you have just said, and I'm also working with Mosa University as a lecturer there. So basically, that's what I can say.
Now, this I can say is a great achievement for someone who is just 24 years old, and he is an author of the book and also a lecturer at a university. What really inspired you to write the book?
Oh, that's an amazing question. Actually, for me, what is even more humbling is not the fact that I wrote it at 24, but the fact that owing to the background that I'm coming from, and to be able to do the things that I'm doing today, it's actually by God's grace. I was born in Chawama from a poor family, and I remember that our family, it was even hard to come by meals each and every day. It was that type of a thing whereby you could know if you are going to have a meal that day or not just by looking at the plates in the kitchen. So when you go there and you peep, you find that the plates are clean, then you know that there's no meal that day. But when you peep and you see the plates are dirty, then you know that mom was running around with the plates. So it was really hard, but even after I finished my grade 12, I remember when I went to university in 2014, it was so hard to come up with the fees, such that when I went there, I had to look for other ways on how I can just come up with the fees. I started working as a janitor. A janitor is a person who cleans toilets. I remember there was a time I was employed as a person who would be sweeping the hostels for my fellow students. I remember washing clothes for my fellow students. I remember working on assignments for them just to come up with the fees. And with the little that was coming from home and the little that I was making, that was what was making up all the fees until, by God's grace, I was able to finish my education. So from that particular background, that is where this book was born, Radiate Positivity, which is a book which is written under a thesis that positivity is the foundation of all achievement, because there's no one who has ever achieved a worthy ideal without being optimistic in life. As we are seated here, Mr. Yan, it is a very well-known fact that each and everyone will have a piece of the challenges that life comes with. But when you are passing through challenges, it is the audacity to have a positive mindset that is going to help you to conquer the situations that you go through. That is what motivated me to write this book, so that I can tell someone out there that no matter the background where you are coming from, you can also make it.
Okay, so in the right sense, Radiate Positivity is an inspiration from what you have gone through in life.
Yes.
And I hope viewers, you are able to get this. Let us also radiate positivity as we are moving in challenges through life, and let us not give up on our dreams. We can achieve anything if we put our mind to it. So what can you say, Mr. Kowa, about Zambia's reading culture?
Well, the Zambian reading culture can be seen in two lenses. If you are talking about the lens of people who are wearing specs, you could say that it is the most extraordinary reading culture because everyone reads. And this book that I'm talking about is a book with a face called Facebook. You find that a lot of people are always on Facebook reading on their newsfeed. But if we are talking about reading quality information from books such as this, the reading culture is quite bad. But we have the hope. I've seen a shift in the space that I've been an author for a year. I've seen a shift in people in Zambia are now slowly developing the culture of reading. Why? Because of the president that we've had has shifted us in some way to become entrepreneurs. And to be an entrepreneur, you need to be someone who reads, who gains the skill of whatever you are offering. So a lot of people are waking up to the fact that they need to be reading. But as we are saying, as it is right now, the reading culture is not very well, but in future, I'm sure we are progressing as a country.
Sure thing. So you are saying if we are to move in the right direction as a country or as a nation, we need to be people who are mindful about what we are doing in life.
Yes.
We need to be reading more of books so that we can understand where we are and where we are going, isn't it?
Well, I like the fact that you've said that when we are reading, we understand where we are and where we are going. But I would like to even add that we understand even the things that we cannot see. You see, with a book, Dr. Miles Monroe once said that when you read a book of someone, it's like you've just downloaded their brain. There are a lot of people who have written their life stories, very successful people who have written their life stories, their mistakes, where they failed and how they succeeded. And just you, by just opening their book and reading, you'll be able to be exposed to their world, to the things that they went through. And in books, you can be able to travel to any world because each and every part of the continent, they've written something about their culture, about their education system, about their lifestyle and everything. So when we are able to read books, it can open our minds up. It can be able to show us the way on how we are going to be successful in life, on how we can live meaningful lives by reading books. The reason why I'm an author today, it's because I've been reading books and I'm still reading books, because you cannot write if you are not a reader. And it is said that all readers might not be leaders, but all leaders are readers. Because to be a leader, you need to be someone who has information, who is wise, who is well vested with knowledge. Where do you get that? From books. So it is the one that is going to help us understand where we are, where we are coming from, and where we are going, and much more.
That's great.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, sure. So, what can you tell someone who is aspiring to write a book?
Well, that's an amazing question. I wish someone told me this when I began my journey as an author. You know, when you are doing anything for the first time, it is never easy. That is one thing that I want the viewers to understand. Anything that you are doing, even apart from writing books, any business, anything that you are doing, even a relationship, would say that the hardest part of anything is the starting part. And the hardest part is the hardest step you can take is the first step. And once you just take that step, you'll be able to find that the other steps will be easier to take. My advice to someone who is aspiring to be a writer, you know, when I'm writing sometimes, it's a thing whereby you can't even understand what is happening, because sometimes you'd find that you just start the pen moving and then ideas just start coming from nowhere. You can't even understand. When you read what you've written, you're like, where has this come from? You know, which means it is a gift. It is something that is divine. It is something that outpours from the heaven gates. So when you have the aspiration to write, my advice is write. The hardest thing that you can do is to start. It's very hard to start, but once you start, the way will start availing by itself. So don't give up. Don't be discouraged by what anyone says that you can't make it as an author. You know, I had a lot of people telling me, laughing at me when I told them that I'm writing a book. But the fact is that you should never give up. You should focus on your goal of becoming an author. When you're an author, you're going to touch lives that you can't touch with a spoken word. This book can be sent to USA, it can be sent to London, and someone can be reading what you've written even when you are not there. So it is something that I would want to encourage you, that keep on doing, keep on writing, keep on putting in your best, and you will become an author one day.
Okay, viewers, we are going for a short break. See you soon.